certainly a cause to ask a few questions. Let's get some of the answers. On commentary, Stephen Watson.
Thank you, Jackie. Well, the Cookstown, over 80 years old, has once again attracted a quality lineup. Competing for the first time is Welshman Ian Locker, a multiple international winner. Great to see him supporting Irish road racing.
We did the Ulster Grand Prix and won the superbike race there and the production race. And so, yeah, overall, it picked up some of the pieces there, you know.
And his duel with Robert Dunlop is one of the most eagerly awaited contests of the day.
We literally got the bike out the van and just got on the circuit and quite enjoyed it on the 125 there. You know, it wheelies a lot, but there's a lot of stop and start, and the tyres don't get up to that much temperature in sort of 5 laps, you know. But looking forward to it. But obviously Robert's been here for years and knows, you know, he's a wily old fox and knows his way around here. So.
He certainly does. Robert, in his 25th year of racing, he broke the lap record in practice, and he has the 4th most number of wins at Cookstown with 8.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some good races with Ian. A great race with him at the Ulster Grand Prix, and then at Lochshinny at the end of the year. I just managed to get one over him on both occasions, but you know, Ian's doing all the road race series this year, so it'll make it very good for the public, yeah, and good fun. He's a good bloke.
And how's the Dunlop fitness?
Good, yeah, no problem.
It may have been dry for practice, but it's wet, wet, wet for the first race of the day, the Richmond 125cc. Robert Dunlop in pole position, and he gets a great start. So Robert Dunlop leads this race. In behind him, bike 2, Ian Locker, 12. It's David Ferguson. Then it's bike 9, Mark Curtin. But it's Robert Dunlop into Gorchine corner. And look at Ferguson, tries to sneak up the inside of Ian Locker. On bike 1, Darren Burns. 5 there is Trevor Ritchie. Well, despite the wet weather, this could be a pretty close contest. Robert Dunlop, former British champion back in 1991, dominated this class of road racing for the last year and a half or so. But just look at Ian Locker. He tries to move up the outside of Robert Dunlop, and I think Locker will take the lead. Indeed he does, so the Welshman hits the front. Dunlop in behind him. Lap record holder, of course. First gear around Mackney. Taking it very gingerly indeed. Now up through the gears on the run to Craigmount. Look out for the big jump here. Locker with a wheelie. Dunlop with a bigger wheelie. And Darren Burns is in 3rd on bike 1. And up the inside there of Mark Curtin, it looked like Nigel Moore, so Nigel Moore in 4th place. Into Orator Crossroads. It's Locker, Dunlop, Burns. That's your 1, 2, 3. Around into the start-finish area. But the race has been red flag. There's a faller, man down. It'll be a restart. Dunlop on the cross on Honda takes his place on the front row of the grid. And nice to see big crowds at Cookstown for the resumption of road racing. Who needs an umbrella? So from right to left, it's Dunlop on 4, Locker on 2, Moore on 86. They're away, and a dreadful start for Robert Dunlop. Robert Dunlop must have a problem right at the back of the field. But at the front, it's 2, Ian Locker. Then it's 1, Darren Burns, and 70 is Victor Gilmore. Great start by Gilmore. Now where's Dunlop? Well, I think he's made up a place or 2 already. Sneaks in front of Trevor Ritchie. Well, this will be a tough task for Robert Dunlop if he's to win this race now. Around Gorchine. And on the run out to McAdoo Bends. Locker, Burns behind him. And 70 Gilmore. That's the 1, 2, 3. 86 is Moore. And there is Robert Dunlop. Well, he's gaining ground all the time. Locker has a quick look over his shoulder. Well, he won't have seen anyone because he's got a big, big advantage now. Over the jump. Here comes Burns, he's in 2nd. But Gilmore is being caught by Darren Burns. And Robert Dunlop up to 5th place. Well, he's having a great ride, Dunlop, now. Locker again has a longer look over his shoulder. And Gilmore still holding 3rd place. In fact, he's caught up with Darren Burns. Over the start-finish line, Ian Locker is the leader, but there could be a change behind him. Indeed there is. Nigel Moore's up to 2nd. Oh, he almost touches Darren Burns. Top gear for Locker, 140, 150 miles an hour. But just look at the tussle behind him. In the middle is bike one, Darren Burns. To his right is 86, Nigel Moore. And to his left is Victor Gilmore. Oh, just look at 86, Moore. He's gone right up the inside of Darren Burns and he's up to second. Bravery on the brakes from Moore. But a McAdoo bends. Ian Locker with a big advantage. And I wonder what's happened to Robert Dunlop. Well, I can tell you that Robert Dunlop has moved up to 5th place, so Dunlop's in 5th. Over the jump goes Locker. Nice and safe. Still pretty quick through there. Has another look over his shoulder. Behind him in second is Nigel Moore, the Dungannon rider. 3 times the National Road Race winner, but never at the Cookstown. So across the start finish again goes the Welshman Ian Locker, having a terrific day on his debut at the Cookstown. Still pushing hard, and Moore perhaps closing the gap slightly behind him. Now who's in 3rd place? Is it still Burns? Yes it is. Behind him Victor Gilmore, but just look at bike 4, Robert Dunlop. He really is closing in fast. Robert Dunlop has the men in front of him in his sights, and surely it won't be long until Dunlop, the experienced campaigner, can move past him. Goes a little wide there, Dunlop. Moore in second. And Locker, well, just making sure he's still got a healthy advantage over that jump at about 120 miles an hour. And who will be in 3rd place? Well, I think there's another change. In fact, there is. Victor Gilmore is in 3rd place. And just look at Robert Dunlop. Robert Dunlop gets past Darren Burns as well. He's into 4th. Great slipstreaming manoeuvre by Robert Dunlop. Well, every chance Ian Locker gets. He just has a little check, but he's nothing to worry about. Just needs to stay on this machine. And he should take the checkered flag. He's on to his last lap, so 2.1 miles to go. This has been a fine performance by Locker. Shame that Dunlop had a problem on the line. The contest could have been a little tighter. Dunlop's problem is engine oiled up, but he seems to have sorted out the problem now because he's making good progress through the field. Well, Locker's surely on his way to a race win. And in second, Nigel Moore. Yes, there he is. Well, Ian Locker, 37 years of age. Really is one of the top road racers around. A 3 times winner at the Northwest, 4 times winner at the Ulster Grand Prix, and 4 wins at the Isle of Man TT. This will be his first at the Cookstown. Moore still in second, but who's in 3rd place? Oh, it's Robert Dunlop. Robert Dunlop riding very hard now. Goes past the backmarker William Gibson. And Robert Dunlop will get on the podium. But there's no stopping this man, Ian Locker. A lit entry for the Cookstown and a winner in the first race. Nigel Moore has tried hard. Robert Dunlop had problems at the start. He'll take a good 3rd. But it's Locker, the Welshman, who wins. So there's confirmation of the top places. Ian Locker 1st, Nigel Moore 2nd, Robert Dunlop 3rd, and Darren Burns in 4th.
On the restart, I thought I'd just try and get a good start and just sort of make, find out if there were any slippery bits. And it seemed okay, there didn't seem anywhere. Whereas obviously there was, on a couple of the road junctions, you got to be very careful and get the bike up right before you put the clutch, slip the clutch a lot, and but it seemed okay. Yeah, no drama at all. No, it was good. Enjoyed it.
Next up, it's the J. Coldfield & Co. Junior race, and in pole position is Barry Davison. Now, what a popular winner this man would turn out to be. His team owner is the president of the Cookstown Club, Stephen Taub. Alongside Davison on the front row, Ryan Farquhar on the McAdoo Kawasaki. Now, next to him is 71, Davy Morgan. The weather never deters the motorcycling fans, and the riders will need a clean visor for this one. It's still wet. So it's 4 Davison, 77 Farquhar, 71 Morgan. On 122 is Ian Locker. He's right at the back of the field. And what a great start for Ryan Farquhar. But who will it be on the run down to Gorchin Corner? It's fast down here. Davison gets past Farquhar. Morgan alongside him, and just look at Farquhar, moves from the right of your screen to the left-hand side, trying to get up the inside. I think it'll be Davison who takes the lead at Gorchin Corner. And Farquhar, he was thinking about it. Farquhar is in second, Morgan's in third. And as they head off to McAdoo Bends, it's Barry Davison who leads. So Davison on a 250, followed by Ryan Farquhar on a 400cc, 71 Morgan, 11 is Samuel Dobson, 101 is Robert McCrum, and 18 Alan Bud Jackson. Out towards Craigmount, fifth gear, then dropping to fourth, over this jump at about 120 miles an hour. Davison, Farquhar, Morgan, then Dobson, and 36 in there's Ricky McCready. Down towards Ardra Crossroads. A right-hander, then a left-hander. Around goes Morgan, he's in third. But still leading the 25-year-old from Ballymena. And I can tell you that it's a new lap record for Barry Davison, so he's really flying. Well, top speeds here up to 150 miles an hour. Davison on the brakes, needs to be careful. It's still very, very wet indeed. Well, Farquhar, well, look at the back wheel slipping all over the place. That just shows you how hard he's trying. So Farquhar has got Barry Davison in his sights. Davison through at McAdoo. Farquhar, oh, he still thinks he's on a skating rink. He's pushing. And another twitch from Farquhar. And here's Davison. Oh, Davison's got a problem. He's out. Davison is out of this race. He can hardly believe it. But Farquhar can certainly believe his luck. He takes first place. So Ryan Farquhar on the 400 Kawasaki leads the junior race. And Davison can only shake his head in disbelief. Through goes Samuel Dobson. He moves up a place. And Davison forced to park the Royal Hotel Honda by the side of the road. Now what's happening at the front? Farquhar still leads, got his eyes fixed on the road in front of him. Careful on the brakes around Gorchin Corner. And back behind Farquhar, there's a real battle developing, the crowd enjoying it. 18 Bud Jackson, 1 Darren Burns, and just look at Ian Locker. He's weaving his way through the field. Well, Ian Locker on bike 122 started in the second group, 15 seconds behind, but on corrected time, he's moved up to 4th place at the moment. It's Farquhar who leads, Davy Morgan second, Darren Burns is third, but Ian Locker is up to 4th place on corrected time. Well, 34 is going to get a bit of a fright, Sean Leonard, because Ryan Farquhar is sneaking right up behind him and about to go past him. Still very, very wet at Cookstown, right out to the grass. Burns goes Farquhar, can't get past Leonard. Might just get him to drag him along a little and use his slipstream now to go past him into Gorchin. Ryan Farquhar is having a fine race. But I can tell you that Ian Locker is right on the gas as well, because on corrected time he's moved up to 3rd place. So Locker having a fine ride too. This is Ricky McCready on bike 36. Behind him 11 is Samuel Dobson. They started in the first wave. McCready down at about 5th place at the moment. Dobson in 6th. Farquhar on to his last lap. And here comes Ian Locker. Well, Locker's going past Darren Burns. He's struggling to see out of his visor, and Locker's into 2nd. Great performance by Locker. Now he's got Samuel Dobson in his sights. Well, Locker may be dicing with these two men, but it doesn't really matter. As long as he stays ahead of them, he'll finish higher than them in the placings. That'll be on corrected time. And I can tell you, on corrected time, Locker's only a few seconds behind Farquhar. Still, this is good racing, isn't it? Locker now past Dobson. So Farquhar leads, Locker 2nd, Darren Burns 3rd, Davy Morgan in 4th. Into Gorchin. And Ryan Farquhar will be a popular winner at Cookstown, certainly with his sponsor Winston McAdoo of Gortray Printing, because Winston McAdoo lives just beside this Order circuit. Locker will take 2nd and Burns 3rd, but it's Farquhar who'll take the race win. his second victory ever at the Cookstown 100. So the results of the junior race: Ryan Farquhar first, Ian Locker second, Darren Burns is third, with Davy Morgan in fourth place.
You know, everyone just sort of went in my favour. You know, I got a good start and just hung on there. It's very slippy, like wee bike's flying. You know, that's the first time I've ever raced it, so it's a good start for the TT. That's why the bike was built for the 400 race, so going good.
In pole position for the Regal 600cc race is Adrian Archibald on the Red Bull Honda. He's the lap record holder. Right next door, the race winner of the junior, Ryan Farquhar, just making sure his visor is once again in tip-top condition. And then Richard Britton, former Regal 600cc champion back in 1998. Holding his own brolly. He'll have to get rid of that for the start. It just hasn't stopped raining today, and it's been very, very slippery. Oh, look at Ryan Farquhar. Big wobble from him at the start. We're on board with Adrian Archibald. Up through the gears here, reaching speeds of 150, 160 miles an hour, and past him goes Richard Britton. So Richard Britton hits the front of this Regal 600 race. Adrian Archibald second on 13. 12 is John Donnan. 77 Ryan Farquhar. Well, this is shaping up into a real ding-dong battle. Out towards McAdoo. Let's sort out that race order then. It's Britton, Archibald, Donnan, Farquhar, Davy Morgan, Gary Jess on 32, and 7 is Adrian McFarlane. Well, he was the 600cc winner here in 2000. Back on board with Archibald. This is the approach into Mackney. On the brakes, that's Richard Britton in front of him. First gear corner. Little series of bends. And then it's up through the gears. Out towards the jump before Craigmount. Adrian Archibald. Oh, big wobble from Archibald. Richard Britton, 130, 140 miles an hour over that jump. Archibald second, Farquhar third, Donnan fourth, Morgan is fifth. Martin Finnegan's on 45, and there's McFarland on the Rendezvous Suzuki. Down to Ardor Crossroads. Richard Britton, Adrian Archibald, Ryan Farquhar and John Donnan. Well, Gary Jess thought about a little move there. On to lap 2. Oh, Farquhar's wheel to wheel with Adrian Archibald. He's lining Archibald up for a pass. Britton leads on the Suzuki. Archibald second on the Honda. Farquhar third on the Kawasaki, but I think he may take second place here up the inside. Archibald tries it the hard way around the outside, drops the nose right across him, but it's Farquhar who takes second. There's Adrian Archibald's view, or lack of it. How does he see him? At McAdoo, it's Britton. Farquhar closing. Archibald with a bit of work to do. Well, he's still got Farquhar in his sights. He's right up close to him. You can see the water just lying on the surface. Out of Mackney and up through the gears. Fourth gear over this jump, about 130 miles an hour. Well, I wouldn't fancy it. Now down to third, then second into Craigmount. Britton leads, remember. Farquhar second. That's him in your view, just in front of Archibald. Richard Britton into the Ardor Crossroads, round this in third gear the whole way. So Britton, Farquhar and Adrian Archibald. Farquhar is good through here. Oh, he's really trying. He's squeezing on the throttle. Top gear flat out here, 160 miles an hour, and Ryan Farquhar has lined up Richard Britton. Again, it's down the inside. Squeezes and jams on the brakes. The back wheel sliding all over the place, and Ryan Farquhar, superb move, takes the lead of the Regal 600cc race. On board again with Archibald. Surely he and Richard Britton haven't finished yet. Farquhar won't get it all his own way. Around McAdoo. And this is frighteningly fast. Every time there's a gear change, there's a wheelie from Adrian Archibald. Up to about 140 miles an hour. In these conditions, scary stuff indeed. But no jitters from Adrian Archibald. He slides past Richard Britton with ease. Into Mackney. Archibald takes second. A bit of a wiggle. He's got Farquhar in front of him. And another bit of a wobble there from Archibald, and yet again. So Farquhar is in front over the jump just before Craigmount. Then comes Archibald, both wheels off the ground. Britain's behind him a little. Back on board with Archibald. Well, he's been our top road racer over the past few seasons, and I can tell you, he's trying so hard here to catch Ryan Farquhar. Oh, and he's down. He was pushing too hard, Archibald, and he's lost the front end. Thankfully, he's okay, but Archibald's race is over. Well, here's what happened. Just look at him on the brakes, into the corner, and front end goes, and he's away. Oh, bit of a thump from the bike too. But no injuries. Archibald fine. Ryan Farquhar's on the run for home. He's on the last lap, and he's already broken the lap record as well. Richard Britton second, John Donnan third, Gary Jess fourth, and Adrian McFarlane fifth. But it's the Dungannon rider who's having a superb afternoon. Already a win in the junior. He'll take the checkered flag in the Regal 600cc race as well. It's a double for Farquhar. Britton second, and John Donnan is in third. So it's 2 out of 2 for Farquhar. Richard Britton second, John Donnan third, and Gary Jess fourth. But no luck yet for Adrian Archibald.
Yeah, I was sort of catching up on Ryan there. I was trying hard and just come into the right hand of the pub and just touched the wee shiny bit with the front tyre and just lost the front end. And that was it, over into the bales. But nah, not too bad. So.
It hasn't been Adrian Archibald's day so far, but he's in pole position for the Lambert and Butler Challenge, a series which he's won 3 times before, and he leads the championship this season as well. But all eyes are on this man, Ryan Farquhar, looking for a hat-trick. Not the best start again for him. It's Richard Britton who got a flyer. Bike 5 is Alex Donaldson making his debut on a Suzuki. Good start for him. 35's Trevor Ferguson. We're on board with Victor Gilmore on the Suzuki. He's in the second wave, 15 seconds behind. Well, how he sees anything beats me. A chink of light at last, and Gilmore's up and running. Into Gorchin corner, that's Barry Maguire in front of him. As McAdoo, Britton leads, Farquhar second, it's Archibald who's third. And 7 is Adrian McFarlane. Well, these 3 men did battle in the Regal 600 race, and they're about to do it all over again. They're at Mackney. We're on board again with Gilmore, the Clubman's Championship winner back in 1999. At the jump, Britton, Farquhar. Oh, he's right off 2 wheels, Farquhar. He's pushing again. Donnan there's on bike 12, and McFarlane brings up the rear of this pack. About 80 miles an hour they approach into Orator. Farquhar's closing, Archibald still well there. And across the start finish, onto the second lap. Oh, well, just how hard is this man trying? Can't keep the front wheel on the tarmac. Britton at Gorchin corner. Farquhar still there behind him. Oh, and a big slide there from Ryan Farquhar. Well, Farquhar on the brakes and a flash of blue. He's missed the corner, gone straight past. So's Adrian Archibald. But Archibald gets round the corner in front of Ryan Farquhar. A mistake from both men. No mistakes, though, from Victor Gilmore. Richard Britton is well out in front. He's got the bit between the teeth. And Archibald still in second with Farquhar third. But Farquhar's on a mission this afternoon. Archibald right out to the curb. Farquhar may take advantage of that. Tries it up the inside. But Archibald drops the nose across it. Farquhar's hard on the gas out of the corner though. Oh, mistake from Archibald. And Farquhar this time capitalises. And Ryan Farquhar gets his second place back. Archibald relegated to third. And now Ryan Farquhar is pushing so hard to try and catch Richard Britton. Well, he's performing splendidly in the rain as Ryan Farquhar. So Britton leads, Farquhar second, Adrian Archibald third, John Donnan fourth, Adrian McFarlane fifth, and Gary Jess in sixth place. On board again with Victor Gilmore, providing us with some stunning pictures around the Cookstown. Well, you can see how wet the conditions are. It's so difficult today. Richard Britton past the back marker, Richard Mooney. Oh, how did he stay on the machine? Richard Britton on the limit. This is Kenneth McRae, drops it into McAdoo Bends. Oh, and he's off. Kenneth McRae is down. Thankfully, he's not injured. And bike number 40, Kenneth McRae. Well, that's a pretty unpleasant way to finish your race. Here's what happened. It's just the first gear corner, squeezed on the power too quickly, back wheel stuck to the tarmac, and off he went. The race leaders on the last lap, Richard Britton and Ryan Farquhar going past bike 70. That's Victor Gilmore, our cameraman. And Farquhar is this close to Britton, and I can tell you why, because he's broken the lap record. Victor Gilmore providing the pictures about half a mile from home. Richard Britton leads Ryan Farquhar. Down to Order Crossroads. It's Britton on 8, Farquhar on 77. Oh, Farquhar's going to try and go around the outside. I can't believe this move. Richard Britton blocks him out, and Richard Britton will take the race win. Farquhar has to settle for second. So, first win of the day for Richard Britton in the Lambert and Butler race. Ryan Farquhar second. Adrian Archibald got third. John Donnan is fourth.
I just kept my own pace, and I wanted to see where he was going to try me, and it was on the last corner coming around there, and I had to just block him, but I'm sure he'd have done the same on me, if he was late in the race. So I'm happy enough with that.
The last race of the day, it's the big one, the Royal Hotel Cookstown 100. No success today yet for Adrian Archibald, but he'll be looking for better in this one. Alongside him on the front row, Ryan Farquhar, as he has been all afternoon. Looking for the treble, remember. Seconds away from the start, and Adrian Archibald has a problem on the Red Bull Honda. Well, the bike won't start. He's called his mechanic Simon Greer to help him out, and I think he's sorted the problem. So Archibald ready to go. Well, that was in the nick of time. So Adrian Archibald in pole position, gets a pretty good start, but it's Richard Britton again who gets the whole shot. Richard Britton takes the lead down into Gorchin corner. Archibald's behind him, 5 there's Alex Donaldson. In the second wave is our popular cameraman Victor Gilmore. Barry Maguire's in front of him, and 55 is Darren Lindsay on the Nibbles 250 machine. So good start from Darren Lindsay. Good to see him back on the roads as well. McAdoo, it's Britton, Archibald. Then it looked like Donaldson, followed by Farquhar. 45 is Martin Finnegan. Gilmore's enjoying his day, a former winner of 4 Irish national road races. And Britton's looking for a double. Archibald's looking for his first of the day. Alex Donaldson's right there in the podium placings. Ryan Farquhar at Mackney is in 4th. Up over the jump. The conditions are starting to dry. The speeds are getting quicker. It's Britton, Archibald, Donaldson, Farquhar. 35 Trevor Ferguson, 12 is John Donnan on the Tilston machine. Mackney corner, Victor Gilmore. A great third place he had at the Manx Grand Prix in the newcomers race a couple of years ago. Great stuff from Victor Gilmore. Across the start finish. Well, you just can't keep these 3 apart, can you? Britton, Archibald and Farquhar. Farquhar's going past Donaldson into 3rd place. But this is a good ride from Donaldson on bike 5 there. Better known for his achievements on classic bikes. So Donaldson's in 4th. Richard Britton. Oh, I think Archibald's getting a little closer to Richard Britton. So Archibald doesn't want to go home today without a win. Britton's already got 1, Farquhar's got 2, and Archibald is a determined man at the moment. First gear around Mackney. Archibald looks over his shoulder. Britton over the jump, and Archibald over it too. Oh, Archibald's definitely closing. This is a much better performance by Adrian Archibald. Back to his best now. Through Orator and across the start finish. Big crowd still here at Cookstown. And Adrian Archibald, a winner of 47 previous Irish National Road Race wins, wants to make it 48. He's had 3 here at the Cookstown before. Not this time. On the brakes, into Gorchin. And don't rule out Farquhar. He's made some great comebacks already today. Out they go towards McAdoo. On board with Gilmore. Barry Maguire's in front of him. They're coming across the start-finish line. Now it's up through the gears, heading top gear here in top speed with about 150 miles an hour. And Gilmore goes past Barry Maguire. It was oh so simple. Look at Richard Britton. A big, big wheelie there. Dropping down into the start-finish again. Britton just can't shake off Archibald, but Archibald just can't get past him. Left-hander. Across the start-finish line they go. Now, can Archibald get past Britton this time? He's in the slipstream, but I don't think he's got the drive. And Richard Britton on the PJ O'Kane Suzuki holds off the challenge of the Red Bull Honda of Adrian Archibald. Farquhar still in third on the Winston McAdoo Yamaha. Gilmore across the start finish. He's got a clear track in front of him and at last can actually see. McAdoo. Farquhar has made up some ground. 36 is Ricky McCready. He better get ready because here come the leaders. Mackney, Britton, Archibald and Farquhar. Britton had a crash at the Cookstown back in 1999, having a better day today. Farquhar tries it up the inside of Archibald. Blocked out though. There's McCready, Archibald, Farquhar, where's Britton? Oh, Britton's out. Engine problem, his race is over, and now Ricky McCready of bike 36 finds himself in the middle of a thriller. Archibald goes past him. Farquhar tries it around the outside. Oh, Farquhar takes the lead from third to first in the space of 2 corners. And what a day Ryan Farquhar's having. It's all over though for Richard Britton. Farquhar alongside 22. Gordon Taylor almost touches him. And Archibald behind's all over the place. Farquhar's having problems on the brakes as well. Archibald's into the back of Farquhar and both men are down. Oh, would you believe it? Ryan Farquhar looks to be a little injured as well. Here's what Adrian Archibald saw. Just couldn't stop quickly enough on the brakes and straight into the back of Farquhar. It's over for both men.
I was coming in on a back marker and they were sort of all over the place. You know, I'd picked my lane and thought he had picked his lane, but I'd let the brakes off and I was sort of overshooting. And then when I was overshooting, I was just turning the bike and must have turned too sharp and lost the front end and it went down. And then Adrian, because I had overshot, I think he overshot as well, and he hit my bike and went out over the handlebars. So it's just one of them things. You know, he's not hurt and I'm not hurt.
A restart and a golden opportunity for these riders to take advantage and win the big race of the afternoon. 5 is Alex Donaldson, 35 Trevor Ferguson, 32 is Gary Jess, and it's 35 Trevor Ferguson who takes the lead. 19 there as well, well up is Jeff Downey, and it's Jeff Downey in fact who hits the front, or is it? Well, all these men together providing some great action. Victor Gilmore still up and running in the second wave on a Suzuki. He could get a job with the BBC. Great pictures from Victor Gilmore. 32 leads is Gary Jess, 19 is Jeff Downey. There's 12, John Donnan, former Irish road racing champion back in 1999. Victor Gilmore enjoying a ride round this one on his own by the look of things. But it's Gary Jess on bike 32, the 30-year-old from Moira, who's way, way out in front. Just look at the gap between him and the second place men. Ferguson on the left, Downey on the right. Oh, both men bouncing all over the place. Gary Jess is almost home. He had a big crash at Kirkeston a couple of years ago. Great to see him back on the Ulster roads. The former youth motocross champion takes the checkered flag and the Cookstown 100. So Gary Jess on the Yamaha scoops the big prize money. Alex Donaldson second, Trevor Ferguson third, and John Donnan in fourth.
I'm over the moon. I'm not particularly a good rider in the wet. I don't really like the wet, but today seemed to just click for me, and the wee Yamahas are going really well. And a good start and got away nicely there.
So Gary Jess finishes a great day's racing, but it's Ryan Farquhar who's the man of the meeting.
So that's about it from Cookstown. Our next race will be the Tandragee 100. You can see that on BBC One on May the 13th. Do join us for that. In the meantime, from me for now,